welcome to this Sunday morning, afternoon or evening, whatever time you're watching. Welcome, you are most welcome to join us here on the sofa for this lovely show, which many of you value deeply, as do we. And it's called
Sunday Chat.
My Lips Are Dry.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh, my lips are dry. I need my new Vivi Balm.
I did put some on my feet the other day.
Not from this jar, you didn't.
No, from the other jar.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't want it contaminating Paul.
No.
With your hobbit-like
feet.
Guernsey, dried, encrusted feet.
Oh, they're rather nice at the moment.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'll be the judge of that. Feet and rather nice don't really belong in the same sentence.
No, you don't have a foot fetish, do you? You're not a licky between the toes type of person.
No, I'm not a fan of feet.
No.
I find them a bit weird. They're like hands.
Well, they are.
But they're feet.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what we'd have instead. Just things, blocks of...
I don't know.
Welcome to the show on this very cool feeling Sunday morning. So that brings us on to Richard and Paul's weather report.
Yeah.
What has the weather been like this week? Well, thank you for asking. It's been absolutely shite.
Not Monday. Monday was lovely. Lovely.
Don't overblow it.
No, it was. I was looking back at my week at the plot, and Monday I was down there and it was glorious sunshine and blue skies, and I was thinking, oh, fabulous, a week of this. But no.
I was thinking this isn't going to last very long.
Well, you were right. You were right. By Friday, it was bucketing down.
Wow.
I mean, we had torrential rain on Friday.
It was torrential.
Yeah.
And it was so torrential that we've had some water ingress into one of our windows.
Yeah.
Just another bloody thing for the list.
I think it's when sort of water comes from a specific angle. It comes in the sort of, what they call vent.
Well, it didn't.
At the top.
It's not coming in the vent.
Oh, it's coming in somewhere else.
It's coming in through one of the joins. I can tell you. Do you remember that year that we had water in the utility room?
Yeah, that came through the vent.
Came in through before we had the windows done, it came in by the boiler.
Oh yes, yeah, I do remember
So
that.
the force of the rain must have been so strong that it drove the rain through the cracks.
Like that. That was the force of the
So really not very good for July at all.
No.
And umbrellas.
Ow!
I can't go up now. Disappointing for July. Umbrellas are required most days for showers and sunny spells. That's what they say. And it's going to be shit all day, basically, when they say that. And today, there is thunder forecast.
Yeah, thunder.
And lightning.
Thunderstorm, was it? No, thunder rain. Thunder rain. Oh, don't know what that is.
No, but it sounds glamorous.
It does, doesn't it?
It's like Thunderdome.
But interestingly, Mum and Dad moved into their apartment that they lived in for the rest of their life 20 years ago this year. And I remember they were here before that, for 2 weeks before, because they sold their house and couldn't move into the apartment for 2 weeks, so they came and stayed with us for 2 weeks, didn't they?
They did.
And in that period, it absolutely chucked it down, because I was working and coming back on the Piccadilly line and got off at Boston Manor, and I was walking home and I got absolutely drenched, and it had been really hot as well. Yeah, so there we are. We are.
July and August in the UK can be warm, but it can also be a washout.
Yeah.
We've known plenty of Julys and Augusts. In fact, one year I remember going over to our friend's house and she'd cooked dinner And we were all so annoyed with the summer that we said, right, we're eating outside, and it was torrential rain.
That's right.
So we sat under the umbrella and still ate outside.
Yeah, it was quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I got a wet back.
Wow.
Yeah, it all dripped down my back, so yeah.
So yeah, there you go. That's the weather report.
And the week ahead?
The week ahead is unsettled.
Unsettled.
I think it's all down to the jet stream. It's in the wrong place.
It's going...
It's
like that.
southern.
Yeah.
It's wobbling around the south.
Yeah.
Which means the cooler air is allowed from the north to come in.
And the warmer air from the south is being held down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there we are.
Hence, jumper, pashmina, and I was wearing my gloves earlier.
You were, weren't you? It is cool. It is cool. Yes.
Anyway, let's get on with the show and see what's on the agenda for today. Not a lot, it's not a long one. It's been quite a... you say that every week.
I know, because I find it amusing.
Yeah, well, you're the
I amuse myself. Yeah.
You keep on doing that. They say it's healthy. So, yes, okay. So, yeah, the election.
Oh,
we had
yeah, our
the
election.
general election here in the UK to vote in a new government. Objective achieved.
Yes.
We're now under Labour rule rather than the Conservatives. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they've already set to work.
Yep.
They've abandoned the Rwanda plan.
Yep, which is great. Which has only cost us 300 million so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. And I do believe they're also looking at prisons as well.
Yeah, and they've got the guy who runs Timpson, which is a chain of cobblers and key makers in the UK, and they make badges and other things as well.
And they do a lot for
they employ
rehab for ex-offenders.
Absolutely, they employ
really
ex-offenders. That's what they do. They employ ex-offenders in the shops.
And it's an important thing to do. And my mum worked for NACRO.
Right, yeah.
Which was the National Association for the Care and Rehabilitation of Offenders.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's still...
I'm sure it's still
running
going.
NACRO, but I've not heard of it.
In one guise or another, yeah.
But yeah, my mum worked, she did admin for them when we lived in Crewe. So yeah, it's an important sector. It really is, and I think it's not talked about that much because I don't think a huge amount of work has been done on that.
No.
That's why the prisons are overflowing.
And too old to actually cope with prisoners that we do have. And it's really interesting to actually put somebody who has got knowledge about what he is in charge of.
Who is not a politician.
In charge of an area of importance.
And they're saying
who
they?
thought it might be a good idea to put people who know about things in charge of things they know about?
Well, the Conservatives certainly didn't think of that.
Absolutely.
Because all they cared about was helping their friends up the ladder.
Absolutely. And Therese Coffey, who lost her seat, thank
Did
God
she?
for that. Yeah. I mean, she knew nothing about any of the departments that she was secretary of. I mean, really. I met her years ago at a thing for the Social Farms and Gardens Federation. Social Farms and Gardens, and it was a launch of a really important thing, and she knew nothing about it whatsoever. She was utterly useless.
Dear. So that's
Liz
all
Truss
good.
has lost her seat. Yay!
Yeah, people can read
Fantastic.
the newspapers. We're not a news
Jacob
channel.
Rees-Mogg has
We're not
lost
a
his
news
seat.
channel, Paul.
Yay! Grant Shapps has lost his seat. Yay! What good news? What good news? The sad news is that the sort of far right is gaining ground in the UK, and I just hope that in France, where there's elections today, the far right do not get a hold of France, because that would be a great tragedy.
Chocolate, biscuits, crisps, fluffy kittens, rainbow unicorns, and Lindor.
You see, we had this argument yesterday, didn't we? That I think unicorns are white. I don't know where all this rubbish about rainbow unicorns came from, because unicorns are pure and white. They don't have rainbow bits to
Well, I
them.
think isn't it to do with My Little Pony?
I don't care.
This is not sponsored by My Little Pony.
No.
Sounds
no.
like a euphemism, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're moving on now, Paul.
Moving on.
God, you've been feeling quite poorly this week. Oh.
I have. It is taking me quite a while to get over this virus that I had at the back end of last week, where I had really sore throat and my energy has been depleted, but I have carried on, but maybe not doing quite as much at the plot as I would normally do. But it was a big plot week last week for a week at the plot, because there were three segments, 3 separate uploads of it. So yeah, that was a busy week. So this week's a bit sort of quieter. I'll be down there to do a bit of seed sowing today. Yeah, so that's nice. But yeah, it's taken me a while, and I still feel sort of like a bit at the moment. Yeah, but you said you were feeling a bit earlier as well, weren't you?
I haven't felt great this week, but I haven't felt anything like you, and I haven't been moaning every single day.
You haven't felt me at all, no.
Coughing and spluttering and unable to do anything. I've been at work.
I've been at work.
Yeah. No, I haven't felt great. I had a little hint of a sore throat, but I've been bunged up a lot.
Oh, right.
But I think it's pollen, but I've noticed the pollen levels are dropping now.
Well, they are, yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly tree pollen.
Which is good.
It's falling because...
Which is good.
Yeah, well, it's falling because it has fallen, of course, much of the tree
But I
pollen.
won't lie to you, I do feel quite tired this morning, I have to say. It's been a busy weekend and it was a busy day yesterday. I did a lot of chores yesterday, had my niece over to stay. We did a perfume making exercise, didn't we? It was lovely. That's my new venture, making personal fragrance for myself.
For yourself, yeah.
Not for anybody else.
And for Sophie as well.
Yeah, so we did a perfume blend, which was really super fun, I have to say. I'll be doing more of that today, and I will be taking you along for the ride in a separate video on my fragrance journey. Only with essential oils, featuring Lang Lang, bergamot.
Isn't it ylang ylang?
It's Lang Lang.
It's lang
Lang
lang.
Lang. Lang Lang.
Lang lang. Lang lang.
Anyway, so
I like the citrusy ones.
Yeah,
I
but
like
you
the
can't
sort of
have a top note on its
verbenas
own.
and things like that.
you can't have a top note on its
with
own.
with a bit of wood underneath it.
You need a bit of wood underneath
yeah,
it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Bit of wood or spice or earthiness.
Yeah.
I'm learning all the terms.
Yeah, well, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what silage is?
Silage.
Silage.
I don't know. Is it silkiness?
No.
What is it?
No, it's the wake that your perfume leaves behind as you move through a room.
Well,
it's called silage.
What about if it's outside?
Same outside.
So actually it's not in a room.
It's as you're moving.
Yeah. So I was somewhere the other day. Oh, I said to this person in Lidl, "Oh, you smell lovely." Because this person in Lidl did smell lovely. So I was smelling her silage. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There we are, yeah. Sniffing behind her like that.
That's disgusting.
And then found the root of the
That's slightly
sauce.
creepy.
She went, "Oh, thank you.
Be careful who you choose to say that to, because
Yeah.
you might get a punch.
Oh, I might, yeah. I'll keep my mouth shut. Yeah.
I don't know whether you can hear, but it's raining. The rain has started. It's tip-tapping on the cowl. Yes. Anyway, so yes, we've had our niece staying over. She's gone off this morning to an event in Kingston upon Thames. So if you don't know who my niece is, she's Sophie Stock of Sophie Stock Art. I'll put a link in the description. And she mainly...
Do it there.
No, she doesn't have a YouTube
You
channel.
could do a Facebook link up there.
Can you?
I think so.
I don't know whether you can, Paul.
can do it.
I'm not learning anything new today.
Right, fair enough.
So yeah, I'll put a link below. So it's been a full week of work for me again this week. I'm hoping for next Friday off. Because frankly, I don't know about you, but doing a full week of work, it's too much.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is intense, yeah.
It's too much for anybody.
I think there should be a 4-day week. I really do. I think there should be a movement towards people having a 4-day week and a 3-day weekend. I think that makes much more sense.
They do that, but they make you condense your hours. They
No,
make
I know.
you do 35 hours in 4 days.
Well, no, there are some companies. There are some companies that they know that the work needs to be done and they just get on and do it. And it's not actually about. I mean, many do compact the hours. You are correct, but sometimes it's like this is what needs to be done. It just gets done in 4 days. You know. So yeah. I think sometimes meetings really get in the way as well. You know, I mean, when I was sort of going into central London and going to Canary Wharf and having meetings, and you know, all of these meetings that we used to have, most of them were a waste of time. You know, I think meetings need to really be functional and reduced in number and make a difference to people's life and the work, you know, that goes on. Often you get people who just do meeting after meeting after meeting and nothing actually moves forward.
I get invited to several meetings that I'm supposed to attend.
And do you...
I just don't attend.
But do you... Is there something that then is missing in your sort of work, if you see what I mean? No, exactly. That's what I mean.
Doesn't make any difference at
That's
all
what
to
I
my
mean.
work.
You know.
And so I just don't turn up, and nobody's said anything so far. I haven't. And I would challenge them if they did, because I'd say, you know, this is not a meeting that I need to attend in order to enhance my performance in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
Because I have good relationships with my team members. I get the work done. I simply don't need to spend God knows how many hours in meetings that don't mean anything to me.
Yeah, I've been in situations where people have said, you know, can you attend this meeting, even if it's been online? And I've gone, do I actually need to? Well, no, but it would be quite good if you could. Why would it be quite good? Well, then you'd know what's going to happen. Well, can't you tell me after the meeting what's going to happen, and then I can just know the information, and in that hour that would have taken up, I can get on and do the work that I need to do. So yeah.
Anywho, it's time for Word of the Week.
Oh, Word of the Week!
Word of the Week, which is brought to us...
Well, we've already got... What was it? What was silage? Was it...
Well, that was a bonus word.
That was a
bonus.
bonus.
It's gone very
Isn't
dark.
that exciting?
It's gone very dark.
Well, it's
like
fine
the
on
apocalypse.
No, it's bright over there. Look, it's dark there. It's bright over there.
Help us.
Can you see in the darkness?
No. So the Word of the Week is brought to us by this gifted book from Vivi Gregory, A Word for Every Day of the Year. A Weird and Wonderful Word and Its Meaning for Every Day of the Year by Stephen Poole. So, today is
Are
the
other books
7th.
available?
Other books are available.
Yeah, there we are.
So today is the 7th of July. There we are.
Oh, it's creeping up to my birthday.
Shush now, Paul, it's not all about you. God. We're so selfish sometimes. What?
At least it's not that word there.
Oh, that's pricked up my ears. That's piqued my interest. So the word is velleity. V for Victor, E-L-L-E-I-T-Y.
Oh.
Velleity. But the sentence begins with something very interesting to me. Are we ready for this roller coaster ride through the word velleity? I think it's...
Is it about tidying things and keeping things organised?
I don't know.
Right.
So, Today is World Chocolate Day.
Yeah, I did know that.
There's something missing in the day.
Chocolate? We haven't got any chocolate in the house, no.
I think there might be one Lindor left.
Oh, you got a Lindor left. Oh, look, you can celebrate
That's
World
my
Chocolate
celebration.
Day. Yeah.
Today is World Chocolate Day.
Maybe you could cut the Lindor in half. We could have half each.
No, you can't do that to Lindor when the weather's warm. Because the chocolate centre becomes liquid.
It's cold, isn't it? You've just stated not 15, 20 minutes ago how cold it is at the moment.
The cupboard is warm.
I think the answer's no.
No.
I don't really like them anyway.
Yeah, shush now, Paul.
The dark ones are quite
Shush now, Paul. Today is World Chocolate Day, but if you quite fancy some chocolate but can't be bothered to get up, CBA. Can't be bothered to get up and look for some, well, I know where it is.
So you don't need to look.
I don't need to look.
Yeah. No energy spent on looking because he knows where it is.
You can rhetorically ennoble your lassitude with the pretty word velleity. The fact or quality of merely willing, wishing or desiring without any effort or advance towards action or realization. That's the OED. In his 1640 book, A Treatise of the Passions and Faculties of the Soul of Man, the clergyman Edward Reynolds warned that desires for something which hoped to escape the labour or pains of acquiring it were useless. They are only velleities and not volitions, half and broken wishes, not whole desires, which are not industrious, but away in sluggish and empty speculations. Fisherman that will take the fish must be contented to be dashed with the water, and he that will expect to have his desires answered must put as well his hands as his prayers unto them.
So what's it mean? A desire to do something.
But you can't be asked.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, well, yeah. It's most of the world at the moment, I think. Yeah.
I think so. You can always rewind, because I ain't reading it again. Well, there we are.
Was it V-E-L or V-A-L?
I'm not looking at the book again. That's it. You can rewind and look at the spelling, Paul.
Because I was going to sort of valet, you see. That's where I was going.
So it's time for the final segment of the show, which is what have we watched on television this week? Well, we watched that programme on witch trials, didn't we, Paul?
Yeah, Saran Jones.
Which was relatively interesting. What was it actually called?
Saran Jones looking at witches or something.
Witch trial history or
yeah,
something?
in the UK and of course Salem as well.
In the US.
And it was quite interesting, though not hugely interesting at the same time.
So there was information on the Salem witch trials, the Pendle witch trials in Lancashire, which many of you may be familiar with. And I mean, it's basically the story of the bullying of women.
Yeah, basically.
And the obviously execution of women that were considered to be witches for whatever reason. And the oppression of these people, well, both men and women, but mainly women.
Mainly women, yeah.
Yeah, it was relatively interesting. It's worth a watch if you're into that. I mean,
was,
I like anything
Channel
to do.
5,
I like anything to do with witches and paranormal and all of that stuff.
It does.
And it featured a few modern witches and their point of view. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
A little long, perhaps.
Well, it was 2-hour-long programmes with lots of adverts, intervals, things like that.
We started the series Supercell.
Yeah.
Which warmed up.
Yeah.
I mean, there was quite a lot of youth speak.
Well, yeah, there was, and I didn't understand a lot of it,
that
I'm afraid.
Could have done with subtitles, to
My
be honest.
ear was not in there. Well, we could have turned subtitles on. Click a
I'm
button
still
and
not
get them.
sure I would have understood.
No, most probably not.
Because I think it is aimed at a fairly young audience.
I think it is. It's aimed sort of at young adults. And we'll carry on with it. Yeah, we might watch an episode this evening.
It just sort of started to get interesting. We're sort of discovering that a group of people have a superpower. I think I can say that.
You can, because it's called like Supercell and that sort of
Yeah,
comes on. Yeah.
But there's also something to do with people who have got sickle cell
Yes.
as well. And there's an institute involved. And I think the intentions of this institute are not entirely wholesome.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, so
Who would
it's
have
got an
thought?
interesting storyline to it, so it'll be interesting to see how that develops.
And that's on Netflix, and it is actually the top of the charts on Netflix at the moment by miles, apparently. So I think it's hitting its demographic.
Yeah.
And maybe we're just a couple of decades outside of that demographic.
I think we probably are. But that's okay.
We can get down with the youth. Can't we?
No. And I don't particularly wish to.
Oh dear.
So we also tried a film called Tenet.
Yes.
Which we switched
Which has
off.
been incredibly successful.
Which we switched
from
off.
a director who's been incredibly successful.
Which we switched off.
Heralded as a fabulous director of brilliant films.
We still switched off.
Yeah, we switched off. Yeah.
I didn't get it.
No, it was
I
too
couldn't
light.
get into it.
It was rubbish. Yeah.
We have started the new series of Sister Boniface.
Well, we started that several weeks ago.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
We've only watched a couple though.
We've watched about 4 or
Have
5.
we?
Yeah, there's been the one with the dolls and
The one with the perfume.
One with the perfume.
Which kind of added to my inspiration.
Yeah, and there was one with something else, and then there was one with something else as well.
It's okay. I mean, it sort of fills an hour, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Yes, while one's having lunch. Yeah.
Well, one's having lunch.
Yes, one's, as in one's us, we are. One is, when one is having lunch.
Yeah, all right.
One's having lunch.
Shush
yes.
now.
Yeah.
We continue with Pie in the Sky.
Love
Again,
Pie
this
in
is
the
a
Sky.
sort of lunchtime
Absolutely.
viewing
Yeah.
pleasure.
But Margaret wasn't in one of the...
I like it when Margaret's in the episodes. We love Maggie Steele.
She was mostly doing Jam in Jerusalem or something like that.
I don't think
Maybe
it was
a
that
few
time.
years later, wasn't it? Jam in Jerusalem.
Paul,
I'd like to
that's
see
just
Jam in Jerusalem
wrong.
again.
And we finished Ted Lasso.
No, we did. Well, we finished
Yes, we
the
did.
series 2 of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
There's another. Yeah.
Is there another series?
There's another series. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do like it. I
Okay.
find it
All
rather
right.
nice.
It's all right.
Yeah. I finished Erin Carter. Who is Erin Carter? And I rather enjoyed it at the end of it,
good.
but it had many plot holes. It really did. But there we are. That's okay. You know, people sort of covered in blood walking through a high street or a restaurant or something, and nobody noticing them at all. You know, rather odd. And another thing that happened this week is you watched some tennis, didn't you, Richard? Do you remember that? So Richard decided to watch some of Wimbledon. So he sat on the sofa and he had the clicky in his hand that it clicked onto tennis, and he went...
I don't remember that. I have
No, that's what he went, and then he changed channel. Don't you?
No, I blocked it out.
I remember it distinctly, and
Good.
I actually told Vivi, and she had a good old laugh about that. That was funny. Yeah.
Thank you, Paul, for adding that value.
That's all right.
To the show.
That's all right.
That's it for this week's Sunday Chat.
Sunday chat.
It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you, bloody thank you, for tuning in again to another episode.
Riveting episode. Riveting. That's a funny word, isn't it?
And
Riveting.
we'll see you very soon.
I mean, riveting is like, you know, driving rivets
Bye.
into things, isn't it?
Bye.
It's really odd to use
Bye.
that in a sort of word of,
Bye. Say goodbye, Paul.
Bye.